What's up guys, TechTitan here, and I am back again with a brand new video. And before I begin this video, I want to thank you all so much for watching this one. If you're new to the channel, make sure you leave a thumbs up. Also subscribe to the channel, why not? Help this channel grow, and also follow me on my Instagram for latest updates on new videos. If you have any questions, go ahead and message me there. I respond quickly. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. And today's video is kind of special, and this has been requested by a lot of people actually, and which is the comparison between the Samsung Galaxy A10e and the Samsung Galaxy A20. And really, this comparison right off the bat, I'm just telling you right now, the A20 is better than the A10e. The price of the A10e comes in at $120, whereas the price of the Galaxy A20 comes in at $240. Starting with the basics, which is the design, they both share a lot of similarities in the design, and they both are made out of the same material, and they look pretty similar, other than the fact that there are some extra features that the Galaxy A20 has which are not found on the A10e, and I'll talk about those in a second. So the A20 has, so like I said, they do both share a similar design, and the differences in design are the following. One, the A20 does have a fingerprint sensor, and it has dual camera setup, and I'll talk about the camera in a second also, and an LED flash, whereas the A10e lacks a fingerprint sensor and lacks a secondary lens. But everything else is the same: the placement, the button placement, the speaker, the same USB-C, same headphone jack. However, in the USB-C department, the A20 does support a quick charge, while as the A10e does not. Okay, and that's basically it for the design. Now, in terms of the screen, they do have major differences actually. So the A10e has a LCD panel, comes in at 5.8 inches, whereas the A20 has a 6.8 panel. And let me tell you, the A20 does have the nicer screen, no doubt about it. However, one downside is the resolution. If you're a pixel peeper, then you'll definitely be able to see the pixels when you hold it up close. While the A10e, you won't. It's not really the same thing. Now, I'm not saying that the A10e has a bad panel. Quality-wise, it's not as good as the A20, but resolution-wise, it's definitely higher since it does have the smaller panel. They both support 18:9 aspect ratio. They both have the same raindrop notch, which does have your front-facing camera. Now, that's the first. This is really the first major differences between those two. So design and display. Two. The third thing is the battery. So the battery on the A10e is a 4,000 milliamp hour battery, whereas the battery on the I messed up. So the battery on the A20 is a 4,000 milliamp hours, whereas the battery on the A10e comes in at 3,000 milliamp hours. And like I said, the A20 does support fast charging, whereas the A10e does not. Now, another major difference comes down to specs and performance. So the A20 has a much better chip. So they both clocked are about, they both have 8-core chips, but the A20 has a better CPU than the A10e, and it has 3 gigabytes of RAM, whereas the A10e has 2 gigs and 32 gigabytes of storage on both of them. Yeah, the performance is definitely for the A20. So opening up things like the phone app, definitely noticeably faster on the A20. The messaging app, 3 to 1, again noticeably faster. Now, where you'll really see a performance, and I did a performance test on the A10e, I'll leave it linked below. I also did a performance test on the A20, also linked below. So all the videos that I did on these two phones will be linked below, bottom line. So opening up games, so Subway Surfer, for example, 3 to 1. Okay. Okay, so we do have a clear winner, which is the Galaxy A20. And to me personally, the experience itself, not even the fact that it's faster, the playing experience is definitely better on the A20. Nicer colors, not as sharp as the A10e, but definitely nicer colors thanks to the AMOLED screen. And let me tell you, the AMOLED screen is quality, and it's made by Samsung, so there's no doubt about that. And just the bigger screen gives it that much more enjoyable experience. Remember, this is a 6.83-inch display, so definitely nicer for gaming. So as far as the camera quality goes, a 13 megapixel standard lens and a 5 megapixel wide angle, and on the front you do have an 8 megapixel camera for your selfies, and the A10e has an 8 megapixel rear facing camera and a 5 megapixel front facing camera. Camera quality, you can go down on my Instagram. I do have a kind of picture comparison for both of these, but I'm gonna tell you right now, the pictures do come out nicer and more respectable on the A20 rather than the A10e. The A10e takes decent shots. They're not as saturated, they're not as colorful and as bright as the A20, and the addition of the wide angle lens just makes picture taking more enjoyable. And you can, I don't know, that wide angle lens is nice, let me tell you that. Okay, so we talked about design, we talked about performance, we talked about the display, we talked about battery life, and we talked about the camera, which are 5 things that really make up a smartphone. Okay, so we're gonna do a quick speaker test and I'll give you guys my final word. Okay, and so you can see right off the screens that the A20 does have the nicer screen. The colors do, it's an IPS panel versus the AMOLED. But yeah, we're just gonna do a quick speaker test and I'll tell you guys what my final thought is on both of these phones. So we're gonna start with the A20. Oh shoot, highest volume. And before I do it, so this is where my beats come from. It's this guy, go ahead and subscribe to him, very talented at making beats. Okay, so 3, 2, 1. So it is a downward facing speaker. Okay. Highest volume. Okay, so I can already tell you which one has the better speaker, and it is the Galaxy A20, due to the fact that the sound stage is just a little bit clearer and it doesn't distort as much on highest volume as it does on the A10e. But yeah, that's really it for speaker. Is the price point justifiable? So is paying $120 more to get the A20 worth it? To me, 100% yes, no doubt about it. If you have 120 more to spend, so for 240, you have an OLED screen, near bezel-less, nice dual camera setup, fast phone, you have a fingerprint sensor, which you don't have on the A10e. The A10e does have facial recognition, by the way. It's not as secure, so that's up to you whether you want to use it or not. A bigger battery, fast charging. So a lot of features that are found on flagships that make the 240 price point more justifiable. So if you're gonna pay 120, you might as well just add a 120 more. So double the price and you get just an overall a more compelling and a better package in a smartphone. So yeah, I mean basically, so really the A20 has been better since the beginning of the video, because it just has the better features, the more elevated features. You can think of this as the iPhone XS. So you can think of this as the XS Max, and this is the XR. That it's not a bad phone by any means. It's just that the A20 has just the better features and they're more compelling features of a flagship. Yeah, it doesn't have wireless charging, and yeah, the design is made out of plastic primarily. The build quality is not the best, but you do have the better features. So yeah, it's up to you whether you want to spend the 120 more or not. Me personally, I think it's worth it 100%, and just more enjoyable. This OLED screen is definitely a win for me. It does get brighter in sunlight, whereas the A10e, it's not as bright. When sun hits hard, you won't be able to see your screen. It's definitely more viewable on the A20. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you want to see, like I said, there's a performance test on both of these phones linked in the description. There's a camera test on both of these phones linked in the description, and I will be doing side-by-side picture quality comparison. The pictures are on my Instagram, so go ahead and follow me there if you want to see them, or just look at the pictures and move on with your life. So yeah, tell me what you guys think though. Do you think that it's the 120 more is more justified? So do you think it's worth it to put in $120 more to get the A20, or just stick with the 120 and get the A10e? Let me know in the comments below. I want to end it here. I want to thank you all so much for watching this one. If you enjoy my content, you know what to do. Leave a thumbs up. Also make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and I will definitely catch you guys in the next video. Thanks so much for watching.